Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. What can I say? I'm absolutely overwhelmed, and how excited I am to be doing this gig. And my name's Dominic Frisby, and I suppose I should say that much. Yeah, I forgot that bit. I'm a white, English, middle-class, middle-aged male, so if you're looking for someone to blame for everything that's wrong in the world, I've got a lot to offer. And apparently I look like a recently divorced art teacher on a school trip to Italy. So and one I had recently, somebody wrote underneath one of my YouTube videos, Walmart Jordan Peterson. So thanks for that, Mum. And I'm going to start. We've got a lot to get through. Here, and I'm going to start with a song that I did quite a few times down here back in the day, but I don't think I've done it for quite a long time. So I thought I'd do it again this evening. And it's called Hate Speech. Sometimes you find yourself with an opinion. That's all it is, a point of view. You're not going to hurt anyone with it. You're not going to stab someone with your opinion. But it's not the right opinion. It's not the opinion they want you to have. And so you keep it to yourself. They tell you their opinion. You may not want to hear it, but they tell you. I'm not talking about taxi drivers here, but left-wing activists. They tell you their opinion, man, they shove it down your throat. And you say, I'm not sure about that. There could be another side to that. And they look at you. And they say, you're a far-right racist, homophobe, you're a fascist, you're a sexist, you're a xenophobe, you Gavin, you ideology chauvinist, you Tory scum, you're a capitalist, you're a bigot, you're a winger, you're a swivel-eyed loon, and you get your frickin' justice, you extremist buffoon, you're spreading hate, you're spreading hate, you're spreading hate! So this guy I know was telling me about Jeremy Corbyn, how he could have saved the country. I said, I'm not sure about that. He said, no, socialism is the best way to help people. I said, I'm not sure about that either. I said, I'm not even sure a lot of people want helping out. A lot of people just want to be left alone. He said, no, these people need helping out, even if they don't know it. And socialism is the way. And I started thinking of places where they tried socialism. Russia, China, Germany had that National Socialism thing going on. Cuba, Venezuela today, and I couldn't think of one where it had worked. He said, no, that wasn't real socialism. Got infected by capitalism. I said, are you sure? And he looked at me, and he said, you're a far-right racist, homophobe, you're a fascist, you're a sexist, you're a xenophobe, you're patriarchal, transphobic, biphobic, Islamophobic. I'm offended by your views, you should do a lot of time. Having wrong opinions is a hate crime. You're spreading hate! You're spreading hate! You're spreading hate! You're literally in love! So I was having a drink the other day in that place, Wetherspoons. And there was a woman outside with a loud hailer saying that since the owner came out in favour of Brexit, if you go into Wetherspoons, you are funding hate. I said, it's only £3.50 a pint. I'm not funding that much hate. I said, I'm part Italian. I've seen the youth unemployment down there and I don't support that. And if you ask me, big government, big tech, big corporations, big banks, it's all part of the same problem. And decisions are better made locally. She looked at me. She said, fair enough. Ladies and gentlemen, you're very kind. I've got very interested in technology recently and all the way that all the apps are spying on you and your phone's listening to you. And apparently Facebook now can ask you, like just by the way you post, by your answer to 5 questions, it's able to predict stuff about you with greater accuracy than your spouse of 25 years. It's like, fucking hell, Jesus. So I started thinking about my own questions. I've come up with my own question. I'll just use you as a guinea pig as you're sitting there, sir. I'm going to ask you one question. One question. And from your answer to that question, I'm going to be able to tell you exactly what your politics are. I mean, you're here, so that's a clue. But, but just pretend you're not here. I'll ask you one question and tell you what your politics are. Who'd you vote for? Right. I find myself single again, looking for love once again. Let her be beautiful, let her be fun. Oh dear Lord, this time let her be the one. And if I could just ask you one other thing, most of all, dear Lord, please make her right wing. I want a right wing woman. She can be my rock. Not too tall or too small, best of all is she doesn't have a cock. Give me a right-wing woman. She should own her own stuff. Uses inches and feet, likes red meat and looks darn great in the buff. Doesn't watch TV, no BBC. She won't fall for their tricks. Her news complex is Twitter X. She can see the bias in Wikipedia. She keeps her savings in Bitcoin. She knows the dollar is dead. Has some gold, guns and cans, quotes Ayn Rand, and she wants to end the Fed. Give me a Trump-loving hottie who worships Javier Milei. She can spell, use Excel, knows darn well Emmanuel Macron's gay. She doesn't vote, she pays no tax. Her diet's high in protein. She has a gun, is Christian. Sometimes just before bed she will clean my earwax. She knows the climate stuff's bollocks. Our kids are homeschooled. Uses spray paint to jam traffic cameras. He's good in fossil fuels. She thinks Keir Starmer's a dickhead. Most of Hollywood too. She's so base, such great taste, not so chaste, she will give me that too. Cooks lovely food, cares for our brood. She's got a genius IQ, has so much style, a lovely smile. She'll make our house so nice and she will do the ironing. Put all of this into Tinder. It came back with a catch. She was loud, she was shrill, I felt ill. Greta Thunberg was my match. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Right, we'll do another song in a second, but I'll just have another sip from the branded mug, and I read this thing the other day in The Guardian, and it was saying that white people should pay an extra tax for the privilege they enjoy of being white. White privilege tax. And I was thinking, well, for a start, it already exists. It's called a Guardian subscription. And then there's a supplementary tax that is the Marks and Spencer's food hall. You don't enjoy special privilege for being white. You just need to look at the state of some of you lot to see that. You enjoy special privilege for being beautiful, pretty privilege. That's why the beauty industry is worth so much money. There's an economist, American economist, really well-respected economist, kind of like the American Rachel Reeves, that kind of level, called Daniel Hammermesh, and he's done this study, and he says it doesn't matter what age, what sex, what race, what religion, your life chances are determined by how good-looking you are. And we actually imbue beautiful people with qualities they don't have. We think they can do things that they can't. It's called the halo effect. So, like, I'm looking at you, sir, you're really well, clean cut, you're well presented, you look smart, and you just look capable and competent, and I immediately want to hire you for sex. And with me, I'm the hirer. And your missus is so good looking, she probably doesn't even realise that when you go to a restaurant, somebody has to pay. Now, if you're looking to equalise life chances through the taxes, you don't want to be taxing white privilege, you want to be taxing pretty privilege. We need a hot tax. If you think about it, it just makes perfect sense. Like Kim Kardashian would pay a load more, and my girlfriend would pay a load less. And don't go, ooh, because she doesn't exist. It's only a joke. And it's a tax you'd be happy to pay. You get that letter through the post, you have been deemed eligible for the government's 40% attractiveness tax, and you're like, yeah, the government noticed I've been working out. Yeah, come on, tax that arse. And it's like chat-up lines would change overnight. Women walk past a building site and all the builders would be like, show us your tax return. And by the same token, this economist has also calculated that the most discriminated against group in society is not any particular age, race, religion, none of that stuff. It is ugly people, the bottom 20%. It's really sad. They find it harder to get jobs, and not just blow jobs, actual jobs. And if you think about it, it makes intuitive sense. Like when have you ever seen an ugly receptionist? Never, except at your GP. And they're more likely to get the sack, they're less likely to get promoted, they get paid less, they find it harder to get a partner. As a result of this, their depression rates are higher, they're more likely to commit crime. When they do commit crime, they get longer sentences. The ugly face of crime is literally an ugly face. If you look at pictures of convicted felons, it's not exactly fucking Vogue, is it? Some of them are so ugly, I think the only reason they committed crime was for sex, for prison sex. That's why they're called incels, because they're literally in cells. So, ugly people are overrepresented in prisons and they're underrepresented in the media. You never see them in films or on TV, except on Question Time. And there are no campaign groups standing up for the attractively challenged. There's no Hollywood ugly Me Too. Do you know what I mean? There's no LGBTQU. Everyone's going, the next James Bond should be black. Nobody's going, the next James Bond should be ugly. Do you know what? We need a minging James Bond, because that is representative. We 007 Pinter. And the irony is, ugly people make better spies because nobody's looking at them. There is Ed Sheeran. I accept that. The exception that proves the rule. If you put homeless leprechaun on meth into AI, it comes back with a picture of Ed Sheeran. Do you think Che Guevara would be on everyone's T-shirt if he looked like Diane Abbott? It's not going to happen. Che Guevara, Diane Abbott, that is Jeremy Corbyn's dream threesome. Making ugly people pay less tax would turn economics on its head. Overnight, Croydon would become a tax haven. Right, I'm going to do another song for you now. This is a new song that I've done very recently, and it's called, and I'm sure many of us feel a similar way, it's called Wrong Age, Wrong Sex, Wrong Colour. Thought I would get a promotion. I'd done a good job, all could see. My boss had a different notion. This is what he said to me. Wrong age, wrong sex, and the wrong colour, it's true, it's true. Hard cheese, next please. Don't call us, we will call you. Applied for a job at the council. They're big on inclusivity. Could see that they had no intention of ever including me. Wrong age, wrong sex, and the wrong colour, it's true, it's true. Hard cheese, next please. Don't call us, we will call you. I went for a role as an actor to play an old English man. They looked at me and they contracted. Some geezer from Uzbekistan. Age, wrong sex, and the wrong colour, it's true, it's true. Hard cheese, next please. Don't call us, we will call you. The government needed somebody to use in their latest campaign, explaining the dangers of knife crime. They looked at me and they exclaimed, right age, right sex, and the right colour, it's true, it's true. Well done, my son, here is a job you can do.